And then you'd hear all my doors slamming upstairs. Then you'd hear something running down the stairs. It would pick me up, smack me up the wall, down the ceiling, back down. There was 9 of us in the room at the time when it was happening to me. It's a dead center.
Welcome to It's a Death Sentence podcast. Helen Millward.
Yeah.
And so we've met you before. Well, we've seen you in action before. Yeah. And it's remind me of the name. It's Helen's Angels of Tranquillity.
Yeah.
So we came to see you at a local to you, wasn't it? A local. Psychic vision, psychic evening.
Yeah.
So we got the opportunity to see you live in action, which was awesome.
It was a very full house though, so it speaks volumes about you.
Yeah.
Quite full, wasn't it?
It was.
That particular night is all about spirit and linking in with your loved ones that have passed over.
Yeah.
Because I do readings as well.
Mm-hmm.
Readings aren't always about people that have passed over, even though I do clairvoyance, mediumship, and future inner reading.
Okay. So tell us a bit about yourself, and then we'll go into all the difference between all those things because they're fascinating.
I think, tell us how you got into this as well.
Right. First of all, I was 2 years old, and I used to have an imaginary friend and talk to spirits. And when I was little, my mum used to get very frightened because my mum's an Irish, and my nan was an Irish traveller. That's where my gift comes from. So, Mum knew about a lot of stuff, but she was into other stuff. She was into Wiccan things, whereas my nan was just a normal Romanese traveller, Irish traveller. And sometimes in the morning, I used to, between 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning, I would go into my mum's bedroom, wake her up, talking in different voices.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did she thank you for that?
she was frightened.
Little Helen again,
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah, very frightened.
I bet.
So my nan, Martha Jane, told Doreen, it's fine, it's okay, just let her get on with it, but have her in bed with you rather than having her in her room, because obviously there's a portal in her room. And then it stopped. And then what used to happen was my mum used to take me all over the place with her because she used to be a nurse and she got a lot of friends. And she used to give me a pack of cards to humour me, just normal playing cards. And she used to say to all her friends, just humour her, just let her read you, just let her do what she's got to do. So I started reading and I'd open the cards and behind each person would pop up. I didn't realise it was a spirit. I just thought it was somebody that was see-through, that was full of light.
Wow.
So I used to talk to them and then relay everything, what they were telling me, word for word, to that person.
And this was when you were still a child, quite young.
I was 5. Okay. And my mum used to say, just humour. Anyway, as time went on, all these people who've been coming, my mum's friends, Doreen, bring her again. Everything's happened.
Oh,
Doreen,
God.
She's been talking to my mum, talking to my dad. So it did freak my mum out a little bit, even though she was quite Wiccan and believed in stuff. Mum didn't always believe in the cards and spirit, you see. So she was totally atheist, my mum. Didn't believe in anything apart from the Wiccan way. But even as a child, I always believed in God and Jesus. And
so you believe in quite a traditional view of Christianity.
And it was ever so bizarre. Oh no, because I actually used to like the Catholic faith.
Okay.
Well, which is very strict, isn't it? So because I'm brought up Catholic.
My mum had never taught me any of it, and neither had my nan. I used to come out with things in the Bible, and I hadn't even read the Bible. Wow. And my mum used to say, "You're so bizarre." And then I had so many imaginary friends, and my mum used to say to me as well when I used to get angry, she'd say that there would be blood hands that would appear on the walls, which is spirit watching over you.
Okay.
Yeah. So she used to say, and they'd appear up the walls. And in all fairness, when I was a kid, I used to think, well, where's them red hands come from? And sometimes they'd be up the corners, and you wouldn't be able to fit your whole hand up the corners. Yeah, so, and things used to happen to me a lot, a hell of a lot when I was little. Because you do get the good side of spirit, but you also get the frightening side of spirit.
And they do say that children are like so receptive, aren't they, to those sorts of things? That
Did it frighten you?
Well, you'll probably laugh at what I'm going to tell you now, and you'll probably think I'm a weirdo. I was 10 at the time, and I'd had what I thought was a dream. I used to see this little thing come out the skirting board, and because I hadn't got many friends and I was always on my own, and I'm like on my own, he used to sit on the end of the bed and talk to me all the time. And I thought it was my friend, and it wasn't. It was something that was a little bit
negative,
bit more sinister.
No.
Yeah.
And they sort of played on that fact that you were on your own. They sort of thought, wow, this is somebody who
things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was a troll.
Knelt on your chest.
Yeah, they're trolls. They're trolls. And what they do is they suck your breath. And they say, oh, cats are dangerous. Cats will take milk. They don't. Cats are so protective that's why witches and people who are spiritual always have familiars. It sounds bizarre, but they always have familiars. And cats are so protective because they actually keep demonic presences out of your home and away from you because they actually eat them. I know it sounds bizarre.
Yeah.
But at this time, this thing kept talking to me all the time, and then it would scratch me and mark me. And that's what demonic things do. They mark you. And one day, because my mum was Wiccan, she noticed that there was like a pile of dirt by my skirting board. And she said, what have you been doing? I said, I haven't done nothing. She went, yes, you have. She said, you've invited something in. Because my mum was like a demonologist. She knew a lot about demons and all sorts of things. But she was into the Wiccan way, which is witchcraft and all this. So she used to learn about all that. And she did get rid of it for me. But I had this dream. It was a very weird dream. The night before she got rid of it for me, I dreamt that I was in my garden and I was playing, because I was only little, playing, and this monkey type thing was bounding and shouting and screaming at me. So I started to run, and I was running and running and running and kept banging its fist. It was like a big, huge, massive monkey banging the ground, and as it banged the ground and it roared, the ground became mud, and I sunk into the mud, and I couldn't get out the mud, and I was still trying to run, and I was falling. This horse, like Pegasus, appeared, flew down in my dream, flew down, picked me up, and it had grabbed the leg of the horse that was pulling us down. And then Archangel Michael appeared with his sword, banged the sword down, and it dropped the horse. The next morning I woke up in bed, I was covered in mud.
What?
I was covered in mud. Yeah, and then my mum got rid of it. And then I didn't have anything for a while, but I always used to see spirits all the time.
What about now, Helen, as an adult? Do you still, obviously this is your business, this is what you do, so lots of connecting with, like, through mediumship, etc. But do you still ever see what we would call a demonic presence or something that is negative?
Yeah. I have had, I mean, every so often, touch wood, it's not going to happen to me again, but every so often I do have things that happen. I mean, I was 32 at the time. So we're going on quite a while. 32 at the time. And I'd gone to help a friend, and I was doing like what I thought was a removal of a spirit. And it wasn't. She was actually messing with witchcraft and stuff. And she'd brought up a demonic presence. And I thought, because what they do, they're very clever, these demonic presences. They pretend to be children because children are so innocent.
And people aren't frightened of children, are they?
No.
Yeah.
And they always have black eyes. So it's like you've ever heard of the Chase, the black-eyed children from the Chase?
No.
Okay, well it's a story about children, but they're not actually children. They've got black eyes, so they're demons.
Right.
So this child, what I thought was a child, I was trying to get rid of for this friend. Anyway, it had attached itself to me and her for 9 days. No, 11 days. 11 days and 11 nights it kept us up. It was quite nasty. It was biting, scratching, roaring. It was shaking the whole house. You'd hear screams, you'd hear roars, and then you'd hear all my doors slamming upstairs. Then you'd hear something running down the stairs, and then you'd hear the slamming of the doors. It would pick me up, smack me up the wall, down the ceiling, back down. There was 9 of us in the room at the time when it was happening to me.
Jesus.
And I was literally hanging off the ceiling. And people, like you see the horror movies and you think it's all just make-believe. Trust me, it's not.
I've got to ask you something, and this is not how I saw this interview going at all. So I'm a singer. That's been my life. We've started to do a podcast together.
Yeah.
Years ago, I wrote a song after I had a nightmare, and it's called Hands to My Head. And in my dream, something came into the room that I was in, and it picked me up and it pushed me up against the ceiling. So my face was against the ceiling. And it was like a black figure. And I woke up and I thought it had happened. It was so real. And it walked me to the top of the stairs and just held me there. It was one of the best songs I ever wrote.
Yeah.
And I think, I look back
real.
at that and I think
it's real.
It was so real.
Yeah, they are real. And when,
Oh my God.
honestly, so it was happening to me. I had a possession rash. It had tried to physically torture me. It had pulled me through, pinned me on the floor, bit all my back. I'd got hand marks, like 12 like, inches, hand marks, scratch marks. I even was saying the 24th Psalm or the 23rd Psalm, which is the Lord is my shepherd. And I got the Bible and it took the Bible over the side of the room with him. And it was roaring. It was screaming.
Wow.
And my cat, because I used to have a cat, she wouldn't come by me. But I tried to cleanse myself. I brought all the angels in. And it had cleansed the house. It was still attached in my aura, but not as bad. So she'd come to me. And then I got a lovely lady called, you probably heard of her. She's a fantastic medium, Sandra Moses. She actually saved me. She removed it from me, but it took 4 of them to remove it from me.
Gosh.
And for a long time, I stopped reading. I stopped doing a lot of things. I mean, I was 32 at the time. All the little children come home. So there was me, Jenny, my friend Deanne, her friend Claire, my friend Jason, and Vel, and the Sandria, and myself, and 4 others. And they didn't manage to get it off me, but for a long time it frightened me.
I bet it did. Is it your belief then, based on your own experience, that
They test you?
but can they only go and do that to a person who's open to that kind of thing? So
No.
your experience with
No.
anybody
It could be anybody. It could be anybody. I always believe people who've got like I could be wrong, but I believe that people who've got like schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder,
exactly that, yeah,
do have attachments, and the Catholic priests,
especially when they hear voices.
The Catholic priests, the Vatican, do have exorcists.
Yeah,
because if there's good, which there is,
if you believe in one, you've got to believe in the other.
There's bad. Do you know what I mean? So yes, and I was very lucky that I met Sandra Mouses and she helped me. But then I went more into protection, because then I realised that even though I was 32, I still hadn't learnt enough. I still hadn't protected myself enough. Because yes, when you're talking to the spirit world, some of the spirit world is lovely. They're amazing. And in all fairness, now with my job, I tend to spend more time in the spirit world than I do down here, which is wrong really, because I should spend as much time here because I'm living. But because I have that union connection with spirits, they're lovely. They're so much nicer than some people that are here. But you have got that bad side. So you have to learn to ground and protect yourself and protect your aura. Do you know what I mean? It's all about protection. But when you do connect with the spirit world and people's loved ones, it's amazing because you'll actually bring through the people and their personalities. And sometimes with me, I don't always realise I'm doing it. So if they've got a Yorkshire accent, when I'm reading them, I'll talk in a Yorkshire accent. If they're Scottish, I'll talk in a Scottish accent. If they're Irish,
that doesn't sound too crazy to me. That sounds like,
sounds.
And if
plausible.
they're Irish, I'll do an Irish accent. And this is the most amazing one. If they're Asian, I actually pick up ethnic words, and I cannot speak any Punjabi whatsoever.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I suppose the reaction from the people, what you get back from them, is so rewarding as well. You know,
shocked. It's not all about me, is it? It's about them and their loved ones.
What about? I'm just going to go off on a whim here. You're just in the supermarket and just getting on with your own life, and then does it?
Yeah, they use
come to you, or just look at somebody and you think, oh God, I now need to. Do you ever go and?
I don't do that. I used to do that. I mean, because I know you probably think this is bizarre, but to me, if you want to be read, you'll come and ask. Because if you go and read somebody without their permission, they might not want you to do that. They may not want you to read their aura. They may not believe in that. So it's a freedom of choice. But I feel personally, from my point, right, if I was to do that, it's not raping somebody, innit? Because you're going into
it's very personal, isn't it?
Aura. Do you know what I mean? So you have to ask permission.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most etiquette way to do something. Do you know what I mean? Because I would not want to upset or offend anybody.
And I suppose it would be very easy to do, wouldn't it? You have no idea what somebody's reaction to that might be. Might be absolutely feel blessed, or they could feel absolutely totally horrified by it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you one little story. I was on the bus the one day because I can't drive. So I was on the bus and I was sitting on the bus, and this gentleman, I feel bad saying this, his cleanliness wasn't very good. And I did feel sorry for him because you can see somebody's down or they've got some sort of mental issues or something going on. And it's a shame for people sometimes because you don't know what they're going through. So there I was sitting on the bus, and this man's mum appeared in front of me. And she went, look at him. I'm thinking.
She was giving her mummy's judgment.
Oh my God. And I'm thinking, well, sometimes, unfortunately with me, I do talk out loud and I don't realise I'm doing it because I actually talk to him.
I'm not surprised listening to what's going on in your life.
And she went, look at him, dirty bugger. Hasn't had a wash for 4 days. Look at him. He's not even washed his trousers or his pants. And I'm like, oh my God, I really don't want to hear what you've got to say about your son not washing his pants. And I didn't realise I'd said it out loud. And everybody on the bus was howling. And I went, look, your mum's here. She's ever so upset with you. I said, because you're not looking after yourself. I said, and I hope I haven't offended you. And I was that embarrassed. I got off the bus.
Oh, bless you. And what did he say?
Well, he was gobsmacked. He was
can
absolutely
imagine.
gobsmacked. And I said, your mum does really love you and you need to pull your socks up and start looking after yourself again. So I just got off the bus. and that was it then. I thought, oh, thank God for that.
That could have been what he needed.
Yeah.
That could have been just the intervention that turned it around.
Absolutely. You just don't know, do you?
And then there was another time, because he used to do what, when you came to see me, it took me 25, 30 years to build my clientele up like that with the room like that. But before I did that, I used to go to people's houses and just do a little stand up. So like exactly what you saw, but there'd be about 10 of them. And I'd try and give as many messages as I could. And one lady, she was such a wonderful lady, really nice girl, and Nan come through. And it's sad, it's a bittersweet story. It's sad because I looked at her and I said, your Nan's here, she's ever so worried about you. And she went, what do you mean? I said, your Nan says you need to go to the doctors you need to go to the gynecologist. You need to get yourself sorted out. She tells me there's something going on with your womb. And she said, and she's very, very worried about you, and she loves you very much. And she wants you to go and sort it out. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, now. She says it's really imperative that you go now. She said, because your ovaries are not right, your womb's not right. Well, 2 weeks later, this lovely lady rang me up and she said to me, Helen, I just want to thank you. I said, why? She went, you've saved my life. I went, I didn't save your life. Your nan saved your life. I said, your nan gave me that message. She said, yes, I've got cancer. It was stage 3. She said, they said if I'd have left it any longer, within 3-4 weeks, it would have been stage 4. She said, without you telling me that, she said, I would never have sorted it out. She said, I've had my operation and they've took my ovaries away. And she said, and they've sorted out my cervix. She said, you've saved my life. I went, I didn't. It was your nan. She went, Helen, stop being humble. She said, you helped save me.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you, Helen, you said earlier that you've got children.
Yes.
How do they feel about the work that you do?
My one daughter, my youngest, she loves it. She really, really loves it. She thinks I'm amazing. Bless her. She's very good with me, Leah. She helps me. She comes with me to a few of the events when she can, when she's not working. My eldest, she don't really like it. She used to, but she don't like it because when she used to play up, I've got a baby in the spirit world. And he used to torment her, apparently, she said. She said he used to come and torment her and sing to her all night. So she hated it. When she was naughty.
I mean, that's a form of punishment, isn't it?
And to be fair,
Wow.
my daughter
It's a really unique form of punishment.
Yeah.
Wow.
My daughter has got a touch of like ADHD and a touch of Asperger's. So she is a handful. So she used to really play me up a lot. So
The 2 girls you've got?
yes, 2 beautiful girls. I'm very lucky to have them.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then all my 13 animals.
Then we had the pleasure of meeting some on the way in.
Yeah.
And for our listeners, we're actually at Helen's house, so thank you so much for having us
It's
here in your
beautiful.
home.
Thank you for coming.
And in front of us, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 decks of cards. Is that right?
Yeah.
9. Do you want to talk us through that a little bit and how you came to use cards? I know we talked about your childhood earlier with your mum giving you just some playing cards. Were a bit more unusual for you.
Yeah. So first of all, I did the playing cards, and then he gave me the Mystic Tarot.
Okay. So the Mystic Tarot.
Yeah, the Mystic Tarot is Greek mythology. It's a tarot pack.
We always get this card. Everywhere we go.
It doesn't mean that.
We're all right about it.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm fine with it.
It doesn't mean that.
I don't mind if it does as well sometimes.
No, it doesn't actually mean that. So
it's a death card. Yeah.
Yeah. So the death card doesn't mean actual physical death.
Do you believe that because you picked it up and it was just there, it means
it's change?
Yeah.
That's what death means.
Yeah.
End of one part of your life, a beginning of another part of your life. So if you've been through a traumatic time, when you pick the death card up and with the tower, it just means dramatic change, an end of one part, a new beginning of another. It can also mean house move, job move, end of one career, end of a relationship, beginning of another. So when you get, there's actually 3 cards normally that actually mean physical death.
Okay.
So those 3 cards coming together actually mean physical death, which is the 4 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. So that's actual physical
Physical death.
passing. So when you get all 3 of them together, so the 4 of Swords is illness or finding inner peace or illness. The 5 of, did I say 4 of Swords is peace?
Yeah.
Illness. 5 of Swords is a funeral. And the 10 of Swords is complete ending, trauma, passing. When you get all 3 of those together, that's
A death. Yeah.
But The death card is not a death.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it as negative.
No.
I see it as a positive card.
Because it's where
You know what Carrie does as an actual job as well, so she's never far away from death.
Yeah, so I do postmortems. So
it's really interesting.
so I'm surrounded by death, and I don't necessarily think of it as a negative thing.
Well, no.
So for me, it's not. I don't
finding
find.
things out, aren't you?
Yeah. So it's not about me. It's about you.
I know. Yeah. I wouldn't. I thought that you would find that.
Yeah. So
that was your first deck of cards.
Yeah, that was my mum's deck of cards.
Okay.
So I mean, these all look magical.
This one is the mermaids. That's the mermaids. Okay. That normally everybody picks up when they want to find out about their love life.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because they're so beautiful.
Yeah. And it's pictures.
Aren't they?
Yeah. I see when I read like a lot of angel cards, because they're all angel cards, really. They're all the pictures, because I'm a visual person.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm visual, when I read cards and I look at the pictures, they will show me a part of the picture. In my head, spirit will show me part of the picture. So, like, I could pick this card up, and what it's saying to me there is, as I'm looking, she's going, shh. So she's saying, be quiet. So they would take me to what she was saying, and I would say to somebody, look, you're saying too much at the moment. You need to sit back, take some time out, be quiet, just watch. So that's what if I was drawn there, if I was drawn to her back, that would be she needs to put her back to a situation and walk away from it.
Okay.
But that's what spirit would be telling me. Oh.
Okay. So the cards are like a tool, and the spirit will guide you to like what that tool is, where it's relevant.
They'll talk to me, basically. So sometimes the cards are like a television, and they'll actually move. As I'm watching them, they will move.
That's awesome.
So when they move, they will show me certain things that I need to look at. So it might be, they might show me her moving, but her pointing to her head, which will be her red hair. So they'll show me that somebody's red-headed.
Aye, right.
But they'll also tell me. They tell me a lot of things, but 9 times out of 10 with cards, they'll talk to me. They'll tell me what to say. And as I'm placing the cards down and the person's picked the cards, so they shuffle the cards, they pick the cards, spirit will tell me what to say. I'll already be saying it. And 9 times out of 10, as soon as you turn the cards over, it'll be saying exactly what I'm hearing.
Okay, that's amazing.
And so when you do a reading one-to-one with somebody, do you always use cards, or do you just rely on
I do both.
Spirit?
I do both. So when I do a stand-up, it's all spirit.
As in, like, how we came to find you?
Yeah, it's all spirit. So the spirit person will stand behind the person that comes through. So what happens is, say it was you, your relative or your friend would be standing behind you. I'd see what they look like. So I would describe what colour their hair is, what colour their eyes are, what colour tone the skin is, what clothes they're wearing. It might be from the photograph. It could be from their passing. And they'll tell me what they've passed away with, their ailments, their illnesses. So I will go into depth, as you saw when we were doing that show. I'll go into depth about that person. And then sometimes they'll tell me either their name or the person's name that's sitting in front of me, or relatives or friends, because I like confirmation, you see. So they will give me names for people that are connected to that person that's here. So they'll give me either their name, the person who's sitting in front of me name, or their brother, their sister, their auntie, their uncle, and people are in spirit. Unfortunately, sometimes the spirit person doesn't always give me their name. But it's because I'll give you enough information on how the person looks, how they passed away, to be able for them to connect who it is. And then sometimes they do give me their names, which is a bonus for me. But they'll talk about the person and their life. They like to listen in. So when they're passed over, they like to listen in on all of your life and everything that you're doing. Like, I don't know whether you were there when I gave somebody an actual conversation that they'd actually had about 2 hours or 4 hours before, or a week before. So it'd be like they're actually telling me what to tell them.
in order to confirm it.
Yeah. And sometimes I won't know everything. They'll only tell me what they want me to hear. Whereas some mediums interpret.
Okay.
I
So
don't.
that's the difference. Yeah.
I don't interpret.
Quite literal for you then.
Yeah. I don't interpret. I literally say it exactly how they say it.
Which is probably better, because surely your interpretation and my interpretation could be different. If you're saying something, it's down to the person to go, yes, I can associate with that, and it's this.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, there was another story, and then obviously, I know you want to ask me something.
No, do you know, actually, I was like, I don't know whether we should just keep going, and then I think we'll pause in a bit and just have a quick conversation, and then I'd like to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I did a show similar to what you were at. My mother-in-law came with me. Her friend came because, unknown to me, because my mother-in-law doesn't tell me, unbeknown to me, her friend's husband had passed away on a cruise ship. They were only there, I think, 4 days into their holiday. Her husband was really, really poorly. This is from what she's told me, and I'll tell you the story about what I told her in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, he passed away with E. coli, and the crews didn't realise how poorly he was. They thought he'd had a heart attack, and he hadn't. Instead of taking him back to shore, they flew him to one place, then another place. And unfortunately, he became so poorly because of E. coli. If you don't get treated quick enough, unfortunately, all your old been shut down and you don't. So I didn't know any of this. So they came with me to Wednesbury. It was a show. And I sat there and I said, "Oh, I've got your dad here." I described Anne's friend's dad, there were two, with his clothes. And then I gave her dad's name. Then I gave her mum's name, her mum come through. And then I said, "Oh, I've got a lovely gentleman here." Now, I didn't know any of that story I've just told you. I said, "Oh, I've got a lovely gentleman here." I said, "He's ever such a lovely gentleman." I can't remember his name, but I said his name. And she was gobsmacked. Then I talked about what he was wearing, how he would dress, and he kept on about his tan, his holidays. He loved his food. I kept on about what favourite foods he liked and everything. And she just sat there gobsmacked. I mean, my mother-in-law was sitting there gobsmacked. I told her how he passed away. I told her that she'd touched his hand, touched his head. Her son was there. I gave her her son's name. And then at the end of it, I started to sing, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." Because unfortunately, Spirit made me sing and dance, and I can do neither of them. I think it can bring the energy up and make me laugh and smile. Because people passing isn't morbid. So I sang this song. We went home. She went round to see Anne a few days later. She was talking to Anne, couldn't believe it, couldn't believe what I told her. She was like gobsmacked. She gave me some wonderful feedback. She said it was amazing, which is really nice, because I have got a lot of confidence issues and believe, unbelievably. It's not actually me that goes out there and gives them messages. It's the spirit world. I ain't got a lot of confidence, but when the spirit are connected to mine, I just go bang, 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 and they give me lots of stuff. So anyway, she couldn't understand what this song, My Only Sunshine, was. And I gave her a yellow rose. I told her I wanted to give her a yellow rose from her husband. She hadn't got a clue. She said, "I don't know. 3 days later, or 4 days later, son went to fetch her a flower. He brought a rose home. It was yellow. It was called You Are My Sunshine."
God, yeah.
That's what it was.
Amazing. Yeah. And so spot on as well.
Yeah, really
fascinating. Yeah.
I love all this, so I find it fascinating because it makes me want. I think that deep in my heart, I still want to believe in magic like you do as a child.
Yeah.
And I think as we get older, we're indoctrinated into not. It's like stamped out of us, and it's really sad. It's really sad, isn't it? Because
and we both love this sort of.
We feel the same.
Like
I'm always waiting for somebody to just say something or do something remarkable. Like, there it is. There's still magic in the world. It's good, you know. Don't need it to be every day, but just enough.
Yeah.
Because everything else, you know, as you get older, it just all shuts down, doesn't it?
It does. But I think because I was so open, it's never shut down for me.
No.
Never, ever.
And maybe because you were encouraged by your nan and your mum as well, to a degree.
Yeah. Well, they did encourage me, and my gifts just got stronger and stronger and stronger. And I'm lucky, but I didn't think I was lucky at one time. I thought it was a curse.
Really?
I really did.
What is this when you were talking about when you were around, when you were in your 30s?
Yeah, those are just two for instances, but I've been through a lot more than that.
What with the more negative side of things?
Some of it, some of it, and others of it, like I said. I mean, there was another lady that came to see me. She got breast cancer. She thought she was going to pass. I was like, no, Spirit told me you're not going to pass. You're going to be okay. And she still comes for readings.
So do you feel that the spirit world can tell you, as they have to when the lady who had the ovarian problems, they have that knowledge?
They have an insight.
Whether a person is close to death or when they're... Interesting.
It's very interesting.
So it's one of our questions, isn't it? So I don't know if you want to ask, because I was thinking about how we would not gone along our normal script.
Yeah. So we normally sort of ask things like, what do you think happens when we die? Right. So have you got
I've actually got a little story here to tell you. All right. So in 2019, I had an operation. Okay. I had pancreatitis. So I had to have my gallbladder removed. Coming to the February, it was just before lockdown. My stomach was filling up. I put on a stone of weight in a week. Obviously, I got sepsis. Didn't realise I'd got sepsis. I got chronic pancreatitis, sepsis, and pneumonia all in one go.
All individually are killers.
Yeah. And I didn't realise. And I was so ill. I was so poorly. I was supposed to go reading that night. Like, to a party. I dropped down on the floor. 111 came. Is it 111? Yeah, I think it's 111 or a little ambulance came. Rushed me in. I took all my jewellery off. I've been there like from 5 o'clock in the afternoon till 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been just sitting in A&E in a bed. I took all my rings off, all my jewellery off. I didn't realise I was grey. I kept dropping off, in and out of consciousness. I said to my daughter, Leah, don't worry, I'm not going to die. Spirit have told me I'm not going to die. I said, don't panic, I'll be all right. I kept coming in and out of consciousness. And because I always look all right, the doctors sort of didn't think anything, did some tests on me. Because when you have pancreatitis, they always seem to think that you drink.
An alcoholic, yeah.
And I'm not, I don't drink. I'm completely...
Not at all.
No, I don't drink. There's a story to that, but I don't drink. And so they rushed me. I had to spend the whole night in A&E. They rushed me upstairs. Still looked all right. You're looking about 3 months here to stay here, Ellen. I said, I don't think so. I can't do that. Anyway, I said, I've got plenty of work to do. I can't let people down like this. Anyway, didn't realise I was swelling up. I've got sepsis and pneumonia. And when you're at that danger point, your actual body, whole body swells. And I went like Porky Pig. I'd got a massive neck. My fingers had swollen twice the size. My feet were a size 6. They were huge. I took all my rings off. If I hadn't took my rings off, like Spirit had told me to, I'd have probably lost some of my fingers, because you lose your fingers in your limbs. I didn't realise I got 3 days to live. I was so lucky. Couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't do anything. And through this time, Spirit had come around me constantly. And I was actually seeing dead people in the hospital, literally, all around my bed. A friend came to see me, and I was talking to all these spiritual people, because there were people that connected to 1 or 2 people on the ward. And she said, what they doing? I said, they're telling me things. I said, I wish they'd bugger off and leave me. I said, they're driving me crazy now. They won't stop talking to me. She said, well, they're not having you. I said, oh. I said, the lady over there. So there was a lady in the bed. She was a very old lady. Her husband's there, her dad and mum's there, her brother's there. I said, they're all coming to fetch her in the next hour. She was like, Helen, you can't say that. I said, they've told me. So at that, she runs outside. But she's panicking now. Because normally when you see spirits like that, they've come to fetch her.
Yeah. I've heard that before.
They've come to fetch her.
Yeah.
And there was about 10, 15 of these buggers round my bed.
And now she's thinking, they'll come to get her.
And I was like, I said to me, excuse the expression, I'm going to say the P word. I went, I wish they'd all pick off. I said, they drive me crazy. I said, they won't let me sleep. Anyway, she ran out. The doctor, the lady's son was by her bed and the doctor had called him out and he said, you need to get everybody together now, Mr. Blah, blah, blah. Your mum's got about 2 hours.
Wow, so you just knew.
So I know.
Wow.
And then when they took me down to critical care, I was so ill, but I could keep seeing them. And I was giving all the nurses messages and everything. And because at the time I'd been doing a lot of Facebook, when the Facebook Live came out,
Yeah.
I'd started in 2015 and was still doing it in 2020, which was 5 years. So I did it every week on a Sunday. Every week I would go on the live Facebooks and give messages for free. Wow. I didn't want any money because I wanted to give back to all the people that had supported me over the 25, 30 years that had come for readings and stuff. So I did it completely free on the lives every week for an hour, just giving messages, 5-10 minute messages to people. And I enjoyed doing it, but it was the hardest thing I'd ever done because it's hard to link in with spirit when you've got someone who's sitting in front of you, let alone 4 or 5, 6 or 7, 8 or 9 spirits standing in your kitchen, and you're on the laptop and you're trying to look through and they're pointing to me who I've got to talk to. And I'm thinking, oh my God. And it was so
Spirit's
hard.
gone digital.
Yeah. So it was so hard. So when I was in the hospital and all this was happening, my daughters had put on Facebook because they were all trying to contact me because they all still wanted readings. And they put on Facebook how poorly I was. And people were sending so many well wishes.
Yeah.
And I've gone from, they expected me to die within 3 days. And within 2 weeks, right? Now the doctors had told me I've got to be there for 3 months. Spirit and all the prayers of those people that I've been giving messages to had cured me within 2 weeks. The doctors couldn't believe that I pulled through and I was so ill. And they said that I was a little miracle. I went, no, I'm not a miracle, it's spirit. It's spirit and the prayers of people that have helped me get through this. And I really believe that.
Prayer is powerful.
Yeah. And I really believe, because I could still see them. They were driving me mad the whole time I was in the hospital. All these people, spirit people, hanging around. So, yeah, I know it was a bit naughty of me, but I was giving people the messages when they were asking me. They would go, oh my God, that's Helen Millward off the Facebook. That's Helen Millward off the Facebook. And they were asking me. And I was like, yeah, I'll have you. I'll give you the messages off your mum, your dad, your brothers, your sisters.
Even when you were really poorly, and you should have been,
oh my God.
you should have been thinking of yourself. You were thinking of other people. So that says a lot about you as a person, doesn't it?
Yeah. And
do you think that we all have a date on us? Our expiration date.
Yeah.
Because that is kind of essentially one of our questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that's so for you at that time? That wasn't your time.
No, but it should have been.
Someone said to us before that like sometimes people are shown the door, and if they choose to take it or not, that it might be their time if they choose to take the door, but if they don't, then it's not their time to die.
Like I said, when I was there, for these 3 days, I was unconscious, coming in and out of consciousness. I was going up mountains. I was climbing. I was a guide. This guide took me up to the mountains. He was there for me, and he kept saying to me, "It's not your time to go yet, Helen. You've got too much to do. We've got to prepare you for your journey." And it was ever so weird because I even flew on a dragon.
I'd love to do that.
I went up to I'm
really interesting.
petrified of heights, and I hung on to this dragon, and I was up in this dragon, and then I went to Tibet, and I went inside this mountain, and this mountain, it was full of marble. It was beautiful, and in this marble there was 12 priests and a major guy. I don't know, emperor or whatever. I don't know what it was. I think it might have been Jesus, to be fair. And he was telling me all these things and all these stories. And to be honest, I cannot remember half the things he said to me. But when I came back from that mountain, then my life, I started to get so much better.
Do you think that sort of your life path has been sort of mapped out for you, and that though you've had times of doubt, but it's always brought you back to this, and this is like your soul journey thing?
I mean, to be fair, I tried to do hairdressing, I've tried to do nails, I've tried to do other things, but they keep bringing me back always to my readings and everything. So even though I've done a lot of things, I always end up, and it's like I try and leave it. But they keep making me come back to it.
Do you resent it in any way?
No, not now. I don't. I did when I was younger. I did, because all those frightening experiences. But I just think Jesus Christ was testing me to make sure. I'd like to think that my heart is pure. Do you know what I mean? And I think because I am naive and very childlike in a lot of my ways and in a lot of things that I do, that's why I think I never lost that. And I think that's why I do the singing, the dancing, because I've got 2 grandsons and a son in the spirit world. And they always come through for me and help me with children. Then we've got my mum, who was a nurse, and she helps me with all the ailments. She tells me about ailments and all the names and all the different things in the body. Then my dad, he helps me with the gentlemen that come through. My nan, Martha Jane, she helps me with all the matriarchs and the ladies. And then I've got a main guide who is a Catholic 15th century priest. And he's my main one that helps me along that.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
You can call on all those people to just, help you to send.
That's like a regular contact.
Yeah. And I'm very much into my angel. And I love all the archangels. And they always help me. But I'm so grateful for them. Because I wouldn't be there if this wasn't my gift. I don't think I'd know what else to do.
Stand-up comedian, maybe. Stand-up entertainer.
Jazz hands.
But don't forget, that's not actually me.
Yeah.
That's the spirit world taking over me. That's my guides that take over me. So it's not actually me that does it, even it's me. It's them. They take over me.
You could probably say that of a lot of performance. And I think lots of people enter into a different realm of some sort, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, I would ask you if you could find out when you were going to go, would you want to know? But you probably...
No, because I think you can't, even though I'm a reader, you can never read yourself, because life is all about living. Life is all about learning and learning mistakes. And if I knew that, I wouldn't make any mistakes, would I?
You'd be perfect.
I'm far from perfect. Don't get me wrong, I've been a tearaway, I've been a bugger in the past. But I've come back and I've learnt from all of my bits and bobs.
Well, that's life though, isn't it? That's all of us in life. I mean, we can be both. It's the yin and yang, isn't it? The whole dark and light.
I do love my spirit realm.
Thank you, dear listeners, for tuning in to It's a Death Sentence. Please keep listening to our weekly episodes.
And if you like our show, please like, share and subscribe.
We are dying to talk to you.